In this movie, we're going to look into some more detailed options that you have for creating contours and saving them in your drawing. So we've already looked at how you can preview contours. Now you can use a boundary to limit the drawing of contours. Now we'll get into some more detail. So contour interval is usually the first aspect of your contours you want to think about. When I pick on that, we can see right now that our contour interval is 0.5. Contour coloring is the next area that you're going to want to look into in some detail. So you've got a choice of coloring your contours or not coloring them at all, which would let the layer set the color. You've got three different color contour methods. Cycle allows you to set essentially a rainbow of colors that repeats over and over as it goes through the elevations. Split allows you to set an elevation above and below which you're going to see two different colors. This is ideal for a situation where you want to show above and below sea level. Interval will allow you to set a differing color that is used every highlight interval number. So in the example that you see here, we're going to have contours drawn every 0.5 of a meter. Every fifth contour is going to be drawn in the highlight color. We'll use this coloring option for this example. So let's draw some contours. Of course, first I want to make sure that I've got my contour layer set to current. We'll pick on contour. Down in the command line you can see that it's prompting me for which surface I want to draw contours for. Ground is the surface I want to work with. Then it asks me if I want to show them or draw them. This time I'll say D for draw. It asks if I want to close them all. Normally you don't need to do that because sometimes that forces the polylines to close where they shouldn't. And there we have some contours. So you can see where we've got the red color showing every fifth contour. Now, next thing that you're most commonly going to want to do is label the contours with elevations. Let's go to the label contours function. So the first thing that you're always prompted for is the text height. In this case, I want to set it as 1. Now you have three different methods within this command for creating your contours. Let's go through each one. First of all, I'll select the trim option. And so what this will do is as I create my contour label, it will draw a circle very quickly and then it will trim the contour line itself to make a space for that elevation label. I'll escape. And let's have a look at the other option. Go back to Label Contours. Height is 1. This time I'm going to select the Wipeout option for contour labels. I'll hit Enter. Now I'll select that contour. And what it's done is it's drawn the contour label. It has drawn a wipeout behind the label, but it has not affected the contour line. You may need to do that if you need to preserve the contours for exchanging information between drawings. I'll hit Escape now. Now, the wipeout frames are visible right now just in case you need to manipulate them, but when you're satisfied with how they're placed, then what you do is you activate the wipeout command. You select the frames option and you turn the frames off. Now everything looks complete. Now there's one other option. It's called the control option, and this is for labeling a series of contours. So before I start that, let me draw a temporary construction line, or I'll make it a polyline, telling it that I want to see contours for each of the contours that cross this polyline. Start the Label Contours command again. Text height is 1. This time we're going to use Wipeout. And then we see we've got the undo or the control option. So here I'm going to type C to tell it that I have a control line. Now it asks me to select entities. And so here I'm going to pick each of the contour lines. I hit enter. Then it asks me to select the polyline control line. So I select that line. And there we can see automatically the contour labels are inserted and the lines are trimmed, all in one step. Now I'll hit escape here. Now, once you've labeled all of your contours and you're satisfied with the results, you may want to smooth your contours. Here's the smooth contour command. It asks me to select entities, so here I will pick 3 examples of contours that I want to see smooth, and I'll hit enter. And what you'll see now is that the contours themselves are not as sharp edged as they were before. They're smoother, and so they'll appear more natural. And you'll also notice that because I've created my labels first, then the label alignment will look appropriate compared to those smooth contours. And it's always recommended that you label first and smooth second. So there's all we need to learn about contours, and thanks very much for your interest in this movie.